Hi there. Before I get started, I already have a silent walkthrough that is up on the channel. So if you haven't seen that and you'd rather not hear me blabbing on and you just want to see like gameplay of what the level is like, feel free to check that out. Otherwise, I also wanted to upload a version that has me kind of talking over it and some of the reasons behind some of the decisions I made. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. So starting out, you're outside of the village and you have to make your way in. There's this very large main passage that looks a little ominous with the fog, but you can try to go down that way. I don't because I'm not a god at this game, and I made that passage very difficult. I have in some playtesting tried to go through it, and I was able to just barely survive, but it is not easy by any means. Here, I started out by going off to the left. You can also go to the right, in which you might run into the assassination target a little bit more. This time I did something I've never done before, which is hopping up on here, which almost got me spotted, uh, but it still ended up working because going around this way, I was able to do an aerial takedown instead. Usually, if he goes into that building, he'll stare at something and you can just stop there. Uh, Killing him there, I also realized might be leaving him out in the open, and I don't want to wait for this guy to possibly end up seeing him, so I went in here to kill him before he could raise an alarm. We'll see if that decision backfires later. Foreshadowing. I built this area here as essentially a makeshift. Yep, there it was backfiring on me. But I built this as like a makeshift training ground barracks. As this like army has like taken over this village and all that kind of fun stuff. I'm getting some artifacting on my playback, but I don't think that's actually coming through in the recording, so we're good. Here, I then continue moving forward as there are three objectives here. One is to steal a relic, which in the context of the narration for the story of the level is basically proof of the crimes that the general that took over this place has been creating. I didn't want to, during the playthrough, go for. There's two really main routes in like levels here, and usually those two are one being kill all enemies, one being to stay completely hidden and not kill anybody. I didn't want to go for either of those. I wanted to go kind of in the middle so that if anybody wants to go for those, they can kind of figure out the best routes for that themselves. Because I feel like it's more fun that way. I don't want to just as the what is essentially a creator commentary or a creator walkthrough. I didn't want to give away all of the what I know can be the most fun aspects of doing these levels for the people that play them the most. Here I wanted to show some of the abilities that you can use and how I did my best to try to factor in plenty of areas where you could go without them, but you could also use them to make your life a little bit easier. I didn't allow for all of the abilities, just 4 of the 6, but I also wanted to make the level that is doable for the people that want to try to use none of the abilities whatsoever. Also, I'm sorry if you heard any of those Discord notifications. I have fixed that problem. There we go. I'm just going back a second. After killing this enemy, uh, there's this building here that an enemy walks through during their patrol route, and I've found that killing them inside is the best way to make sure nobody else comes by and sees them. If you try to go out this doorway, there is a bowman. You can either go out the window on the other side, or you can use the Kage ability to just bum rush him. I've always had horrible luck trying to aim the shadow teleport to get up to the top of one of these platforms. It takes me forever, but I do eventually figure it out. And by then he's also facing the other direction, which makes my life a lot easier too. There are 2 shrines in the level. One of them is here. The other one is in the area, basically the victim that walks through. He visits both shrines during his patrol. So theoretically, I could have just sat here and waited for him to come by, but I wanted to take a more proactive choice, and also in doing so, can I show a little bit more of the level? Over here, you can see that there's a little bit of shadow here for the player to kind of hop in there. And that's the target down, leaving only one more objective, which is to get to the room inside of the building at the end there. Start to head that way, and realize I'd like to go up to the second floor of that building just to show off a bit more of the level. And so I do. I open there this way, and I'm like, because just to show that if you came in from the other way, you can kind of have a bit of a route. And then this guy notices that somebody's taking a nap in the garden. So I just decide to go ahead and deal with that really quickly before continuing on. Also out of ability because of all of the light poles that are in this central walkway. So we run our way into that final building, and you see the family blade that you are retrieving for the people who were pushed out of their home. And there you have it. That's my level. Let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing any and all feedback, good and bad. Have a great rest of your day.